What's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a personal website with WordPress. So let's take a look at the website I'm going to show you how to make. So I designed this to be the perfect one-page design for an individual. So it's got this awesome parallax effect. I'm also going to show you how to change all of the fonts and their colors. I'm going to show you how to change these icons and make them clickable. I'll show you how to create buttons that can go to different pages or they can jump to different areas on your website. I will also show you how to change your menu up here, how to make this transparent header, and I'll also show you how to create the signature logo for your website, and you don't need any software to do it. You can do it completely for free, so that's really cool. I'll also show you how to change all these different sections so it doesn't have to just be films or photos or web design. You can change them to whatever you want. I'll show you how to create a photo gallery, put your videos on here, link up your Instagram and YouTube and Facebook or whatever other social media that you have. I will also show you how to create these icon lists down here, as well as create a full contact page where people can send you emails, and you've also got a map over here. And the awesome part is that I made this entire website into a template, which I will give you for free in the description below. So I went for more of an outdoorsy theme for my website, but you can change it to anything that you want. This website layout is super versatile. And I will pull it up on mobile on my phone. So here's what that looks like. Awesome. So this is looking great on my phone. And I'll also show you how to get your very own domain name like I have here, and how to get your own hosting plan. So without further ado, my name is Dale McManus. I make websites, and I also show you how to do it step by step. So whenever you guys are ready, let's get this started. Alright, so step number one is to secure a domain name and hosting plan. A domain name is just the name of your website, .com, and a hosting plan is covered by a hosting company. So they have these buildings full of all of these servers, and these servers allow you to rent space on the internet, fill it with all of your pictures and videos and text and so on, and then go live. Hosting is necessary for having a website. If you don't want to have a hosting company, then you have to build your own server inside your house somewhere, which I don't recommend doing. Cool, so let's get started. So let's hop on over to HostGator.com. And this is their home page. So what we're going to do is go over to web hosting, and you can see they have a few different plans here. So the hatchling plan is what I recommend most if you're just starting out. And the baby plan is if you plan to have a bunch of domain names. So if you know that you want to have like 10 different domain names, go ahead and get the baby plan. And the business plan is really only if you are trying to make a ton of money with your website, like I'm talking hundreds and thousands of dollars, and you need all this extra bells and whistles. But for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to go ahead and do the hatchling plan. So you can see it's the cheapest plan, so let's go ahead and hit buy now. And here is where you're going to get your domain name. So this is the fun part. I highly recommend keeping your domain name under 15 characters. And I also recommend keeping it as simple as possible. So for this, I'm going to be doing a personal website. I actually already bought dalemcmanus.com, which is my name. So I'll show you, I'll hit enter, and it'll say it's unavailable. It's because I already have it. So what I'm going to do is my middle name starts with an N. So I'm just going to pop an N in there and do dalemcmanus.com, hit enter, and there we go. So it'll give you a bunch of different stuff like .club, .site, .net. I highly recommend just sticking with a .com. We want you to be as legit as possible. Cool? So let's go all the way down, and you're going to see that add domain privacy protection is checked on, and that's good, because if you don't have this checked, you will get bombarded with spam calls from people that are like asking to build your website and offer you all this stuff if you pay them. It's obnoxious. I made this mistake once in the very beginning when I made my first website ever, and it was terrible. I mean, my phone probably rang 6 to 8 times a day with solicitors, so I highly recommend adding that domain privacy protection. Alright, next we're going to go down and choose our hosting plan. So we chose the hatchling plan, which is good. And we're also going to choose the billing cycle. So as you can see, if you do 36 months, you're going to have the cheapest per month. and overall. So $275 a month if you commit to 36 months. Now, 36 months can be a lot for somebody to commit to. So my next recommendation is doing the 12 months because you're buying your domain name for 12 months as well. So it makes the most sense to have them match up, and it's still a pretty cheap plan. And if you just want to try it for 1 month and just see if you like it, maybe this is your first website, then you can go ahead and click 1 month. So after you choose your billing cycle, we're going to create a username. So I just do my full name, which is Dale McManus, and then do a security pin. And then we're going to fill out our billing info. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this really quickly. Alright, cool. So once that's all filled out, we'll just go down to add additional services. And from here, you've got a free SSL certificate. So what this means is, let's say I go to apple.com. This little security thing that says connection is secure, it's this little lock symbol here. That's what that is. So if you're selling product on your website, like it's an e-commerce store or something like that, then I would recommend getting this SSL certificate. It's included free here, so just leave it checked. And you can go ahead and uncheck to protect your site from hackers. Leave get professional email unchecked. I actually have a whole nother video showing you how to do this for free. So you can find that on my channel, or I will link it in the description below. And then also uncheck back up your hard work. There's ways to do all this yourself. You don't need to include them in your package. Alright, so here's the fun part. Here is where you're going to save some money. So in the coupon section, it probably says shared 3660 or something of that sort. Go ahead and delete that, and we're just going to put in create a pro website, all one word. And what this is going to do, once you hit validate, you can see, bam, the price just dropped. So at the time I'm recording this, this will save you up to about 60% depending on how much of a billing cycle you choose. And this is my affiliate link, so this does actually get me a little bit of commission, which kind of helps fund these free YouTube videos that I'm doing for y'all. So if you use it, it saves you money, and it makes me a little bit so I can continue to do this all the time and provide more tutorials. So it's a win-win for everybody. But if you don't like me and you don't want to use it, you can try to find one elsewhere. But I guarantee this is the best deal that you're going to get because I called HostGator and worked out this special deal purely for my viewers. So let's just review this real quick. So you can see we've got our domain registration for 1 year, which dropped from $15 to $5, which is awesome. We've got our hatchling plan, which was originally $10.95, which went down to $7.67, and then our add-ons is just our privacy protection, which again, I highly recommend. So let's go over to, we actually got to agree to the terms. So you have read and agree, and then you can click checkout now. Alright, cool. So once that is complete, it's just going to set everything up for you. Alright, cool. So once you're inside your cPanel, now we're moving on to step 2, which is to install WordPress. And WordPress is basically just a website builder. It actually powers about 30% of the internet, which is a lot of freaking websites. And it's pretty easy to use, and I'm going to show you step by step. So let's go install it. Alright, so just go on over to the hosting tab up here. And then what we're going to do is go down to WordPress one-click installation. So go ahead and click that. Alright, so from here we're just going to pick where we want to install WordPress to. So we're going to go to select your domain, and I'm going to select my domain. I had a bunch of options there. You will probably only have one. So then just click next. Alright, so now we're just going to give it a title, and this will just be our name because this is not a company. This is a personal website, so if you had a company, you could put the name there. Admin user, I'm just going to do my name. And first name, last name. Again, lots of excessive names, but this is because it's a personal website. And then admin email. So let's do our email. Cool. And then we'll just agree to the terms and then click install. Now WordPress is installing. Awesome. And boom, just like that, it's done. So very important step right here is to save the installation details here. So what I'm going to do is copy these, And then I'm just gonna paste them wherever I save normal passwords and things like that, because you're gonna need this ridiculous password, this S71 yada yada. But to get on initially, we're gonna need that crazy password. So make sure you save that. And then just click login. So you're brought to this page because HostGator has to send out your domain name across the entire world. It's got to connect to every server and say, hey, this domain name exists. And this process is called propagation. And they say it can take up to about 24 hours. I've never actually had it take that long. It's usually somewhere between 20 minutes and 2 hours. So in about 20 minutes, check back. And if you see a page that looks like this, then you're good to go and we can get started again with the tutorial. But take it as a mandatory break, go get a snack, and come back soon. Alright, so once we're at this page, we can move on to step number 3, which is log in and change your password. Because we don't want to have that ridiculous crazy password that we saved earlier. So let's go ahead and instead of clicking the little green button that says admin login, the way that you should get used to signing in is by going up to your domain name and doing /wp-admin. And by doing this, you can get in all the time because this little green button is not going to be here once you publish your site. So let's just hit enter. Okay, cool. So now we can log in. So you can use either your username or your email address. I'll just do my username, which was just Dale. And then I will do that crazy password. So I saved mine, so I'm just going to copy and paste it. And then hit login. Alright, boom. We are in the WordPress dashboard. And there's a lot of stuff going on here. So let's make it a lot easier to navigate and look a little cleaner. So we're just going to dismiss this, and we're going to hit the X on pretty much everything. Let's just dismiss, dismiss. We want this to look nice and clean like that. Don't want to scare you if this is your first time in WordPress. Alright, so now that we've logged in and cleaned up our dashboard, let's go change our password. So let's go down to users, and then go to all users. And then just click on your name. Cool. And now we'll go all the way down to the bottom and we'll do generate password. And then just delete that one. We don't want another crazy password. We want to make our own. So let's go ahead and just put in whatever password that you want to put in. Alright, cool. Now hit update profile. And there you go. That's how to change your password. Now you can log in with that, so you can just use your name as your username, and then you can log in with your new password anytime. And remember, do your domain name /wp-admin. That is how to log in to WordPress for your site. Alright, so the best part, step number 4 is to customize your website. So first we're going to get our theme, then we're going to download a couple plugins that are going to help us out a lot. And then next, I'm going to give you a template that you can use that'll take away a lot of the hard work. So then you can just kind of drag and drop and replace the images that you want and replace text and so on. I want to make it super easy for you guys. So first thing that we're going to do is get our theme. And our theme is really just going to be used for our header and our footer. So I'll show you what I mean. I'll go over to createaprowebsite.com, which is my website. And we're just going to get the theme purely for this header up here, this white part, and then the footer all the way at the bottom. And then the page builder, which is a plugin that we're going to get, is called Elementor, and that's what we're going to use to actually design our whole website. But the theme we want to get just for that header. So let's go back and go over to, where is it? Appearance, and let's just go over to themes. Awesome. Now from here, just scroll down and you'll see this plus sign that says add new theme. Just click on that. Alright, so then we're going to go to search themes and we'll type in Ocean WP. And then you'll see it right here, the one that says just do it. Just click on install and then click activate. Awesome, so now that that's activated, we're also going to install a few plugins. The first one is going to be Ocean Extra, which is just a little add-on, a little bonus to our Ocean WP theme. And then we're also going to install a page builder called Elementor. And Elementor is what's going to allow us to drag and drop and just visually build our page. So to do this, let's go on over and let's go to plugins and then go to add new. And then at the top, you'll probably see this theme recommends the following plugin, Ocean Extra. You can either install it from here or you can search for it in the search plugins bar here. But we're going to do begin install plugin right here. And we'll just do install. And it'll say it's installing Ocean Extra. And then now it says plugin activated successfully. Cool. So let's go back to plugins and then go to add new. And now we're going to get the Elementor page builder. So let's go to search plugins and we'll just type in Elementor. If I spelled that right. Yep. Then Elementor page builder. It's the first one here. It's got over 1 million active installations. So let's go ahead and click install now. And then click on activate. Cool. So now it'll bring you to this little get started page. You can watch a tutorial if you want, but we're just going to exit out of that. We don't need that. So before we get started with actually customizing our website, I provided you with a template that we're going to install now. So if you go down to the description below, you will see those Elementor templates. Download those, and here is how to install them. So from your dashboard, you'll see the Elementor tab over here. Just go up to My Templates. And then instead of doing add new template, that's actually how you create them, go over to the import templates up at the top. And then it'll say choose file. We'll just hit choose file. And mine are on my desktop, but if you download them, they're probably in your downloads folder. So go over to personal website templates and we'll do the personal website first. So I have the actual website template and then I have the footer template. But right now we're going to do the personal website template and click open and then import now. Cool. And now let's go back to import templates, choose the file, and we'll also put in that footer. Open and import now. Alright, cool. So now we've got our website and our footer templates in here. So let's go over and make a home page. So just go up to the Pages tab and then go to Add New. Alright, so from here, just close out of this little wonderful world of blocks thing. Just close that. And let's just call this home page. Alright, so then on the right, just go to these drop downs over here and click on Page Attributes. And then change default template to Elementor full width. This is really important. So from here, then just go up to publish. And it'll say, are you ready to publish? Yeah, nobody's actually looking at our site. This is just our way of saving it. So just click on publish. Alright, so then go up to your name at the top left and click visit site and open it up in a new window. Alright, cool. So from here, just click on customize. And what we want to do is we've now just made this home page, but our theme, which is Ocean WP, is not recognizing this as the home page. It's still showing us this hello world post template. And we want to get rid of that. So we want to make the connection to our new home page that we just created. So go down to home page settings and then click on a static page. And then under home page, click the select button and then just click on home page. So if you had clicked save draft instead of publish, you probably won't see this here. You have to click publish in order for this new home page to show up. So now that we've selected home page, you can see we've got this full width page that we can now play with, and we can now go add our template to it. So from here, click on publish again, and then click on the X. And let's go to edit page. And I'm actually going to close out of this old window here. Cool. So from here, let's do edit with Elementor. Alright, so here is the fun part. Now we can start actually customizing. So the way Elementor works is you can just click on this new section button and then just select a structure. We'll just select the main one. And if you click on this little Rubik's Cube looking symbol up here, you can now drag in all these widgets. So you could drag in an image if you want, or a heading, which is just text, and then you can change the text. So I could just, type my name, for instance, and then you can edit it, change the colors, all that kind of stuff. But first, what I'm going to do is add our new template so that everything is made for you. I just wanted to show you real quick how all this stuff works. So first, let's go over to the Add Template, which is this little folder button. And then just go up to My Templates. And then you'll see our two templates that we imported. So we'll do the personal website one, and then just click on the Insert button. And then it'll say, do you also want to import all the document settings? Just click on Yes. And boom, there we go. So now we've got all of our widgets that I've created for you in here, but it kind of ruined our full page layout. So let's go back and change that. So on the left hand side here, you'll see page layout all the way at the bottom. And if you don't see this, it's under the settings tab. Just go to Elementor full width. And now it just updated again. So this is what it's supposed to look like. We're actually going to get rid of this little title up here. We're going to do our header, all that. But first, we're going to work on these main sections. So I've got all these sample images in here for you, which are all black and white. We're going to change them all. We're going to change text and so on. So as you can see, videos, photos section, just everything that you need, contact page. And then right here is actually where our contact form is going to go. And I'll show you how to do that later. So let's go all the way to the top and open back up this little sidebar. So this is how you open and close it. Just click on Update now that we've got that imported, and we're gonna go get rid of this little title up here. So let's go up to these little 3 lines, looks like a hamburger. Click on that and then go to Exit to Dashboard, and then go up to Visit Site again, and you don't have to open it up in a new window this time. And then just click on Customize. So this Customize tab is how we customize our theme, and then the Edit with Elementor tab is how we customize our main page. So right now this title here is part of that theme, so we want to get rid of that. So let's go on down to the General Options tab, and then from here go to Page Title. And then we're just going to go under Style, and it's on default right now. We're going to change that to Hidden. Cool, so now it's gone, which is awesome. So let's click on Publish, and then just click on the X, and let's go back to Edit with Elementor. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and change this main picture here to one of our own. So if you're following along with me, I have follow along images in the description, so you can download those as well. The only ones it does not come with is pictures of myself, because this is my website, so you're going to want to put a picture of yourself in this section. So to do this, just right click and then click on Edit Section. And then if we go over to the Style, you'll see the Background tab. So if it's closed, just open it, and then you can see the image is here. So if you have nothing here, it'll probably look something like this, and you can just click on Classic Background Type and then just go to Image. So let's upload our own image. So from here, you've got your media library, which has nothing in it right now. Oh, well, actually it's got the sample pictures that I gave with you, so you can keep those in there. We've got our sample goat over here. Anyway, so let's go back to Upload Files, and let's upload a picture of ourselves here. And so My Images, and then I'm just going to select this one of myself and click on Open. Cool. So then click on Insert Media. And one thing to note about putting pictures on your website is if they're way too high quality, it might look fantastic, but your website is going to take forever to load. Which we don't want. We want it to load within a second or two. So to fix this, what you can do is go to Optimizilla. Oops, if I could spell that right. Here we go, Optimizilla.com. So it's got this little dinosaur guy. You can just click on Upload Files and then select your image and open it. And what this site will do is compress your image. So it'll do an auto compression for you. And if you scroll down, you can see the difference. So they look pretty similar right now. If I wanted to really compress it, I could bring it down to like a 45, and you'll probably see a little bit more of a difference. There we go. So you can see it's a little bit more pixelated, but what this does is save a lot of file space, and it'll load a lot quicker. So I'm not going to go that much. I'd say like a 70 is a pretty good compression, somewhere around 70. And then click apply. And then just download that image. Now this image I actually already compressed, so I'm just going to leave that in my downloads. So let's go back to Elementor. So again, this one was already compressed, so it should load fine. Alright, so what you can do to change your position of your image, you can see I'm on center right now. You can do top center, and that'll kind of move things down a little bit. You can do bottom center. Puts me a little bit higher. So if I'm looking at the page like that, I picked center originally because it just looks the best. And then we've got this parallax effect going on right now. So whenever I scroll, the picture itself doesn't move. If you did want it to move, you can click under attachment and change it to scroll, and that'll actually now move with that page. I love the parallax effect, so I'm gonna go back to that and click on fixed. And then you can also change the size. So right now it's set to cover. You can do contain, which looks ridiculous because you're kind of just repeating the image. In my experience, cover is the best way to go. Now, if you didn't want this block of picture here to be so wide, what you can do is go over to Layout tab, and then you'll see height, which is set to minimum height. So if it's on default, change it to minimum height. And then right now I have it set to a 780. You can bring that down to something like that, and you can see it's a lot smaller now if you like that style. I love that big first image. It's what says the most about you. I'm pretty outdoorsy, so I've got a picture of myself outdoors. So I'm just gonna go back and change that to 780. I liked it the way it was. So now I've shown you how to edit that main image. If you wanted, let's say you wanted these words to stand out a little bit more, what you can do is go to the Style tab, and then close the background tab, and then go to background overlay. And what you can do is set a color for this. So click on the classic, which is a little paintbrush, click on color in this little box here, and then what you can do is change the overlay color. So what you can do is go all the way to black if you want, and then the opacity is how dark or how light you want that to be. So a 1 is like 100%, and then a 0 is obviously 0%. So if you wanted, you could do that. I like that main image to be crystal clear. I can already see the words totally fine. So I'm gonna bring this back to transparent and close background overlay. We're actually gonna do that for these sections down here. These already have background overlays on them. But for this one, I like it. Cool, so let's change our text. So pretty simple. You just click, double click actually, and you can either edit it right there on the page. So I could put my name. And I do all caps. I like it to be big and bold and important. Or you can change it over here under title. Or if you wanted, also you could put everything on the left, you could put it on the right, and so on by changing the alignment. And what's underneath this is a divider. So I just wanted this little space between my name and then what I do. So the divider, if you click on that, let's see if I can scroll to get that in a better spot. There we go. If you click on that, you can change the width of it. So right now it's at a 41. You can make it all the way out. You can make it a really small line if you want. I'm just gonna go back to a 41. You can change the weight. I have it set to a 2. You can make it real thick if you want. I like the thin line. And then now let's replace this text with cool stuff that we do. So I have this set to italics, so it looks a little bit different than our main heading. So let's put this as videographer. So I have a background in video and photography. I like to travel and make some films and stuff, so I'm gonna put some of that on my website. So I'll do videographer, change this to photographer. And then, of course, what I'm doing right now, web developer. And if it's not italics, or maybe you want to change it from italics, you can select all of it, and then this little menu comes up, and you can either click it or unclick it, you know, if you want. I like it italicized. So if you would like to change the font, I kind of forgot this part for the actual main header. So let's say you don't want this font. Double click that, or actually you can just select the whole widget itself by clicking on this pen tool. And then go to Style, and then go to Typography, and you'll see this little pen tool again. Click on that, and you can change the font family to whatever you want. So I have it set to default. I'll just select one at random. Let's do that, so you can change the font, but I'm gonna go back to default. And then you can change the size as well, so it's set to a 60. You can make it huge, you can make it smaller. Thought 60 was a pretty good even point. And then you've got your usual text editing settings down here. So let's go down and let's work on this About Me section. So let's click on this section. So the tricky part here is you've got a section, which is the blue, which is the entire section, and then within that section you've got 2 columns, and these 2 columns are set to full width. So it can be a little tricky to actually select one or the other. So I'll show you a little trick. If you want to select the actual section, you can right click up in the blue area and just click Edit Section. If you want to select the column, you'll see this little gray symbol. It looks like 2 columns. You can just right click on that and click on Edit Column. So now that we've done that, we actually want to have the column selected. Go to Style, and then we can change the background. So let's delete this one and let's add in a new one. So I'm going to go back to Upload Files, select Files, and then I'm going to just select this photo of me. So again, these are the only 2 photos you don't have with you. You should be putting ones of yourself. So click on Open. And again, don't forget to compress your images. So let's go over to Insert Media. There we are. And then from here, let's click on this column. So you can either click on it or right click and hit Edit Column. Let's go to Style again, and we'll change that background as well. So delete that. Let's add a new one. Go to Upload Files, select Files, and then the Follow Along Images. We'll double click on that. And I'm going to add the one of this desert. I like that desert one. So I'm going to go with this outdoors theme, and I'm going to do kind of a hot and cold contrast. So I'm going to have lots of desert photos mixed with snow photos. So from here, we'll just click on Insert Media. And you can see this now has a background overlay on top of it. So let's close that. And if you wanted to edit that, just go to Background Overlay. And then you can change the opacity. So I could have it lighter, darker, and so on. And if you ever do something and you're like, oh crap, I need to undo that, just hit Control-Z and you can undo. And again, you can change the color as well of that overlay. Alright, so edit this text the same way. You can just double click. If you go to Style, you can change the font and so on, and the text color. I already showed you all that. So here you just add whatever you wanted about yourself. I'm just going to leave it. And then now our button. So this is a fun part. So if you click on the little pen symbol here, or right click and do Edit Button, it'll take us to where we can now change the button. So I wrote See Portfolio here, and you can put in whatever link for this that you want to put in. So if you have a separate link to your portfolio, you can put that in here. I have this set up as an anchor to go to my films section or videos section. Which if I push the button, it would actually jump down to this section. So I'm actually going to leave that, and I'll show you how to create these anchors a little bit later on. But this is where you would put in your URL. And if you want to change everything about the button, like the style and so on, just go up to Style. You can change the button text by clicking on Typography, and you can change the text color, the background color. So the text color is automatically set to white. If I want to change the background color, I can. So if I want to remember this color, I'm going to just copy that. So now I can change it. So if I want it to be green and so on. For buttons, I recommend stuff like orange. I recommend kind of a light blue and a green. They stand out really well amongst everything else. And your buttons are your biggest call to actions on your website. So if you're selling something or you want people to click on your portfolio, having these nice bold buttons is a great idea. So I'm just going to go back to my original orange color, and then I'll close that. And then the hover color, if you click on the hover tab, this is kind of a darker orange. So whenever I go over it, you can see I have it growing and I have it get a little bit darker. So let's say I want to make that even darker. I'll just bring that down like that. And you can see now it's kind of a brownish, orangish. So close that, and then the hover animation is set to grow. So you could do anything you want. Let's say rotate. The whole button will kind of rotate a little bit, so you can pick whatever you want there. I just like the regular grow, nice and simple. And once you've created all of these elements, it doesn't matter if it's a whole section or just a button, what you can do is right click over here and then just click on duplicate. And then you can drag that new button around wherever you wanted it. So if I wanted to put it down here, I could. So that's awesome. So I'm going to Control Z, get rid of that. Okay, so let's go down and replace this goat. Got to get rid of our sample goat. So if you just right click on this area and do edit section, go to style, delete him. Let's put in our new one. So go to upload files, select files, and I'm going to select the Desert 2. I like this epic picture. It's actually a picture I took out in Peru of my buddy Alex standing on the dunes. So that's cool. So let's do insert media. And there we go. This is also parallax, so it's kind of cool. It goes from this picture of me and then bam to him. So nobody's going to know that that's not me. So I'm just going to pretend that's me. And again, if you want to make this smaller, go to Layout tab and then change the minimum height up or down however you want. Alright, so I've got these icons in here, so let's change those. So the way I got these was, again, go up to this Rubik's Cube looking symbol, and these are just regular icon, they're icon boxes actually. So if you drag that in, that's how you create those. So let's change these. So let's click on that button or right, it's going to keep telling me whether I know how to right click, just click got it. Anyway, edit icon box. And you can change the text, you can change the little title here. So let's change this to films. If I can spell that right, there we go. Films, and you can change the icon. So just click on that. Let's type in film, and we'll get this little film strip. There's a million icons in here. Not really a million, but there's a lot. You can pick all sorts of different ones. And I also have this hover set to kind of turn blue and grow. So if you wanted to change that, just go to Style and then go to Hover, and you can change that color and the animation. And if you're on the Normal tab, you can change the size of the icon if you want, and the color as well under Primary Color. So let's change this one to Photos, and we'll just do a camera symbol. And we'll change this one to web design. And then change it to a laptop. Now, if you want to link these to things, so right now, if you hover over them, it's like, ooh, I can click on that. So if you want to actually have it go to a link, there's a little button that says link to, or sorry, a little section that says link to, and you can just put in your URL there. And again, you could do this as a jump button to somewhere else, which I will show you soon. Actually, no, I'm going to show you right now. So let's do hashtag. So you always have to do hashtag if you're linking to a different part of the same page. So let's do hashtag films. And what we want to do is just have this jump right down to this section. And we want it to land just about like that. So you don't actually have to set that. All you have to do is pick the section. So if I right click in this blue area up here and do edit section, what we're going to do is go over to advanced, and this is where we're going to create a class ID. So we're just going to call this films with no hashtag. And what this does is say, hey, this is the film section, so that whenever we push that button, it'll just go, oh, I know where that is, and then move down to it. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So click on update. And then I'll close this and I'll just show you. So if I were to click on that button, boom, there we go. So that's how to create a jump button. Really cool. I love one-page designs, so jump buttons are like my best friend. So let's go open this back up, and let's make the photos one go to hashtag photos, and web design will go to hashtag web design. And I'm going to go down and change these as well. So photos section, make sure you're on the main section, not just one of these columns or widgets. Main section, go to advanced, class ID, let's call it photos, and this has to perfectly match what you put in as that hashtag. And let's go down to web design, right click, advanced, web design. And while we're here, let's go change contact as well. So right click, advanced, and contact. And let's just click update. And so now if I were to click on any of these, boom, it takes me down and down. So they're all working. So let's change our titles. So I don't want this to say videos anymore. So I'm going to double click that and I'm going to say films. And I have this set to where it only shows 2 videos. And what I did to get these videos is go to that little Rubik's Cube symbol, and then it is just the video widget, and then you just kind of drag them in here. But I've already got 2 set in here. Let's say you wanted 4. So what you'd want to do is have 2 columns the way that we have it, and these columns have widgets inside of them. So there's the main section, a column, and then a widget is this one. So if I wanted, I could right click and duplicate that, and it'll now create one below, and I could do the same over here, and now I've got 4, and my page automatically opens up to create that space. But I want to leave just 2, so I'm going to delete these. Just kind of wanted to show you how to do that. And I'm going to change, first before we change these videos, I'm going to change this button. So I'm going to click on that or right click, and then I want to make sure that I've got the right link in here. So right now it's got the link to my YouTube channel. So if I were to click on that, that'll open up in a new window. It goes to my travel channel. So like I said, I like to make videos and I like to travel, so I just put them together and made this other YouTube channel. Doesn't have a lot of subscribers, but you know, if you want to subscribe to it, go right ahead. So let's go back and make sure that link is changed, and then if we want to change these videos, just right click, edit video, and then put in a new URL. So I'm going to delete the automatic one that they have in there for me. I'm going to go back to my YouTube channel, and I'm just going to grab a video. So let's do this. Peru one is my most popular, so I'll click on that and I'll grab the URL at the top, and let's just go back and put that in, and there we go. It's got my video in there. And you can change a bunch of the settings here. You can make it autoplay, you can get rid of the player controls, you can make it loop, and so on. And the video size will depend on the space that it's in. So let's say I had just 1 column instead of 2, and this space was twice as big. It came down around here. This video would look twice as big. It is responsive to fit into certain spaces. So just keep that in mind. And let's change this one. So let's right click on the little pen, edit video. Let's delete that, and let's go grab another video. I'll do my Nicaragua video. Oh, stop. There we go. URL, copy, and let's put that in. Awesome. So moving on, photos, same thing. You can edit this the same way, and if we want to change these photos, you can see now we've got one great big column. And the reason is because this is actually a gallery. So instead of clicking on an individual picture, I have this set up as a gallery, which is its own widget. So if we click on edit image gallery, we can edit the whole widget, and we've got 4 different images in here. And the reason I have it set up this way is because if you click on one, it'll pull up in this little light box thing, so it'll kind of make the rest of your website darker, and then you can click on the arrows and scroll through images, which is really cool. So let's go and edit those. So let's go back, edit image gallery, and let's clear these images. It'll say reset gallery, we'll just say delete. We'll go to add images, and then we'll go to upload images, select files, and let's grab Machu Picchu, we'll grab the cathedral, the desert, and the waterfall. These are actually all images that I took on my travels, so yeah, y'all get to have those. Please don't resell them. If you do, at least give me a cut of the money. Alright, so let's go to, make sure those are all selected, all 4 of them are selected, and let's do create a new gallery. and then you can select which image you want first. So I'll just show you can change these around. Let's do Machu Picchu first, and let's go to Insert Gallery, and boom, there we go. So now we've got all 4 images in here. Now if you notice, what the heck, why is this one bigger than the other? It's kind of throwing off the whole look. That doesn't look good. Let's fix that. So if you go back to Add Images, and then let's go to Edit Gallery, and let's click on this waterfall image. That was the one that was a little bit bigger. Actually, click on one of these. You can see the size is 1920 by 1080, and the waterfall is 2048 by 1365. So let's change that. So let's go to Edit Image, and we're going to go to Aspect Ratio, and we're going to change that to 1920 by 1080. And then what we're going to do is just drag. So you're just going to click anywhere in here and drag that up. So now that's got that perfect 1920 aspect ratio, and then just select the corner and drag that so it's full width, and just make sure it's positioned where you want it. I'll just say something like that, and then click on the little crop image tool again, and now we've just cropped our image. So let's hit save. There's a few clicks to actually do that. It was a little confusing the first time I did it, so make sure you do all of those steps. So now let's just do Insert Gallery, and now that image is fixed. So now it looks nice and clean, and again, if we click on these, we can just go through all of them. Cool. So moving on, next section, website design. Make sure you change this button. I have this one set as blue, and it's just going to my contacts. So I did get a quote. So let's say somebody wanted me to make their website. I would just want that to jump all the way down to my contact page. And again, I'll show you how to do a contact form. So make sure you edit that. And if we want, so you can see these are all individual ones. These are all icon boxes. So if I go to the little Rubik's Cube, and I originally dragged in an icon box, and what I did was, instead of it having being up and down like this, I did icon position and I did left, and that's how I made it look like that. So you can also do right if you want to put it on the right side of the screen, but let's just delete that. I just wanted to show you how I made that. And I can also create links to all these. So right now I just have these as symbols just to show you what I do in all these. So I could write a little description, but if I wanted, I could actually make them link to different sections by putting a link in here. And then over in this column is just where I have examples of some other websites I've made, which if you guys are some of my following that's been following me for a little while, these are actually old tutorials that I did. So you can change those as well just by clicking in there and then doing choose image and putting in your own images. And I actually already forgot, I did not change the backgrounds here. So let's go back to the film section and do edit section, and let's just change, sorry, go to the style tab. Let's just change that background. So delete that one. Let's do a mountain photo. I want to mix it up a little bit. And I also have that set to fixed, which is our parallax. Let's go down to the photos section, change that background. So go to style, get rid of sample goat, sorry sample goat, and then just select the desert and do insert media. And then we'll go down to website design and we'll do edit section, change this one to, let's go to upload files, select files, and let's do the space one. So click open, insert media, and now we've got our space, which is cool. And then lastly, let's do contact, edit section, style, sorry sample goat, and let's upload our last one. What have we not selected yet? The dunes. So let's do that. And then click on insert media. There we go. Alright, so before we move on to putting in our contact form, I just want to show you, if you want to change the colors of all of these different little title sections, just right click, go to style, and then go to color. So I have this set as a very dark gray. Full black is something you don't want to put on your websites. It's just Full black just doesn't look quite as professional as a dark gray. So a lot of companies will do dark gray. And again, with white, you could do either a full white or you could do kind of an off light gray. And then you could change your title to black. So that's just how to change those colors of those sections. So again, if I want to do something really dark, I just do 1C, 1C, 1C. And this is just a very dark gray. Okay, so step number 5 is to set up our contact form. Alright, so to get our contact form, let's just update this, and then we're going to go to this little hamburger symbol, and then go to exit to dashboard. Then go down to plugins, and then go to add new. And then we'll just go to search plugins, and we'll type in contact form 7 Elementor. And then if we go down, you'll see the contact form 7 widget for Elementor page builder. That's the one that we want. So just click install now. And then click activate. Okay, so now that that one is activated, we're going to go back to add new. And we're going to get the contact form 7 plugin. So one was just the widget for Elementor, and the other is the actual contact form plugin. So we'll do install now on the contact form 7 plugin, and then activate. Okay, cool. So now that that's done, just go over to this left-hand side, and you'll see the contact section. So just click on contact forms, and then you'll see we have contact form 1, which is fine. So just click on that. And you can change the name if you want, so I'll just call this Dale's contact form. And what we're going to do is go to the mail tab. And then from here you can change the email address that you want it to go to. Right now it's going to my Creator Pro website Gmail. So this should automatically put your email in. But if it doesn't, go ahead and put your email in. And then go up to the messages tab. And from here you can change what all of the messages say. So whenever they send one successfully, it'll say thank you for your message, it has been sent. I don't know, it has been sent kind of sounds like Dwight Schrute from The Office. It's a little too formal, so let's just make it a little more fun. Let's say your message was received! Exclamation point. Wow, I do not know how to spell. There we go. Your message was received. Cool. And failed to send. There was an error trying to send your message. Please try again. We don't want them to try again later. Let's just get them to please try again. So you can pretty much just edit all of these however you want. So once you do that, now let's go over to save. And let's actually go in and add that to our page. So let's go up to our name and then go to visit site. And then we'll go to edit with Elementor. Alright, now let's go all the way down to the bottom again, and this is where we're going to add it. So if you go over to your widgets over here and you scroll all the way to the bottom, you should now see the void contact form 7, and just drag that in, and then it'll say select contact form, and we'll just select Dale's contact form or whatever your contact form was. Cool, so it just added it, and it's transparent, so I kind of want to fix that. You know, I want it to have white backgrounds here in these lines. So what we're going to do is go over to Style Contact Form, and then you're going to see all of these little sections where you can put in some short code. But we're going to ignore all of these except for the text area, CSS, and the input type text. So from here, you can see it's got this little suggestion. It says background is red. It's saying that that's what you can put in to change the color of the background. So if you just follow what it says, it's pretty simple. So just type background, colon, let's just say white. And then boom, our background is white, which is cool. So I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to paste that in this one as well, which is the text area, which is also where you put your message. So bam, there it goes, it's all white. That really wasn't any coding, wasn't too scary, right? So let's click on update, because we want to make sure that we're saving once in a while. And if you'd like to change the color of the button, we can do that in here as well. So if you just scroll down and you go to submit button, you can also change that background color as well. So we'll just change that real quick so I can show you. So we'll do background, let's just say red, it'll change to red. You can do blue, and it does like a dark blue. I'm gonna do light blue, and it'll stay as light blue. The light blue is the default. And then you can also do the button hover as well, which is just under here. But again, I'm gonna leave it the way that it is. So now we can go over here and you can just right click on this widget, which is your icon list, and you can edit your phone number and your email and your address. This icon list, you can change all of the symbols, so you can change your phone number and then you can change it to whatever symbol you want. So maybe you want the phone with the square in it and so on. Works kind of like all the other icons. And you can change their color by going to style and then going to icon. But I'm going to leave them the way that they are. And then the map, if we edit Google Maps, we can put in any address. So I just put in Silicon Valley. Don't actually live there. I've never even been there. It just sounds techie, so that's why I threw that in there. But you can put in your business address, or if you don't even want this thing, you can just delete it altogether. So aside from the header and the footer, this website is looking fantastic. Pretty much everything is working correctly. All the buttons are hooked up. We've set our anchors so that when we need to, we can just click on something and it'll bring us to where we need to go. So now we can move on to step number 6, which is add your header and your footer. Alright, so let's go on over to update, and what we're going to do is go over to the little hamburger icon and go to exit to dashboard. Actually, let's go back, go to visit site, sorry about that, and we're going to go over to customize. Cool, so here's your header. It's super blank and boring right now, so let's change that. So let's go over to the top bar first and go to general, and let's just uncheck enable top bar. That's that little bar on top of the header that says place your content here. We want to get rid of that, so that's gone. And go back, and then let's go over to header, and then we'll just go over to general, and then you can change the style of your header. So if you want, you could do a transparent header, which I think I'm going to go for. So now you can see that that's gone. It's fully transparent. And what you can do if you want is you can go down to the bottom where it says transparent header settings and select background color. And then just scroll down and just pick any random color. Let's just say black, which I'm not actually going to pick. But if you go to the little opacity slider here, it says 100. Oops, I just clicked off of that. You can slide that all the way over and you can change the transparency, which is really cool. But I'm going to clear this. I just want to leave it at the default full transparency. So now what we're going to do is change my name here. So a lot of people put a logo here if they have a company. What I'm going to actually do is put a signature here. But if you have a logo that you have for your own personal brand, I'll show you how to put it here too. It all works the same way. But I'm going to show you how to make a signature and put that in. So to do this, just go up to a new tab and type in sketch.io and hit enter. And then just select English or whatever language that you speak. So you'll be brought to a page that looks something like this. And normally you could just draw on here with a black pen and get a signature, but we want our signature to come out white. So what I'm going to do first is go over to this little layers panel here, and I'm just going to delete that background. So I'm going to select these 3 little dots and I'm going to say delete. So that is gone. Now what we want to do is see what we're doing. If we write white on this, we'll be able to see it, but it won't be that clear. So we're going to go over to this little plus sign that says new. And let's just add a blueprint background, but we're going to end up deleting it, don't worry. So now just go up to the tools button up here at the very top left and just stick with the calligraphy pen, and it's already in white. If it's in black, you can just select it and change it to white. So just keep the default pen and just draw your signature. So I'm just going to do a rough signature here. And you might have to do it a few times. That's not the best, but we'll keep it. Alright, so now what we want to do is go over to the layers panel again. And I'm just going to delete that background again. I just wanted it there so I could see what I was doing. So just delete. And then now that that's done, I'm going to go over to the little export icon. Kind of looks like a floppy disk, your standard save symbol. And we want to save as a PNG. So the reason we want a PNG is because it's going to have this transparent background. So if you have a JPEG, for instance, that same symbol will end up coming out with a white background. So what's going to happen is we're just going to have this big white block that looks like nothing. So a PNG with no background on it is going to be our best bet. So just click Save PNG, and then that'll go to your Downloads folder. And what I also want to do is get a black version of my initials, and I will show you why in just a second. So first, let's go over to the layers, and let's just delete all of these layers that I made for my signature. And let's go back to the tools, and let's change our outline to black. And if I want, I can bring the size up a little bit, make it nice and thick. And I'm just going to create a DM for Dale McManus, just like that. And now I'll go to export again, and then save as PNG. Cool. So now we can exit out of this, and we're going to go back from general, and we're going to go to logo. And then we're going to go to select logo, and we're going to go to upload files, and then select files. And then just go to your downloads, and then just select your signature. Click open. Alright, there it is, and then click select. And it'll ask you if you want to crop. We can't actually see it. There was a little bit of space on mine, so I'll just drag this in a little bit. But if you want, you can also just hit the skip cropping button. But I'm just going to crop that little bit of end off there. So now you can see we've got our signature. And bam, there it is. It's huge, so we're going to bring that down. So let's just go to max width. And let's just bring that to, say, I don't know, 188, somewhere around there. Maybe 180 if you want to be, right on point. Awesome. So now if you want to add a symbol up here where this little page icon is, this is called a favicon or a site identity. So I'll show you how to add that really quick. So let's go back, and then go back one more time, and then go to site identity. And then here is where you can put in that image. So we can just go down to select image, and then I will go to upload files, select files, and then I will get my black initials. And then hit select, and then it'll ask you to crop. And if you want, you can drag this down. So I will do something like that, and then hit crop image. And then boom, there is my initials way at the top there. So that's cool. And while we're here, we also want to change our site title and our tagline. So right now, if we hover over this, it'll say Dale McManus, just another WordPress website. That's boring. We want it to say Dale McManus, and we can put videographer dot photographer dot web developer. So now if we click on publish, that will change. So let's go back, and if you want to see what this looks like fully, you can just go down to hide controls, and that's what it'll look like. Let's cancel out of these downloads. I love the transparent header, but it's missing something. What we need is a menu, because we need buttons up here at the top right where we can click on them and jump to different parts of our website. So what we're going to do is go back to this little arrow to open up our customizer, and then just hit the back arrow again, and then we're going to go to menus, and then we're going to create a new menu. So click on that, and we'll just call it primary menu, and then it'll say, where do you want this menu to appear? So we disabled the top bar, which we don't want. We want the main. So just check on main, and then scroll down and hit the next button. Alright, so now let's add some items to that menu. So click on the Add Items button, and let's add some custom links. So if you had different pages, let's say you had a separate page for contact that had a contact form on it, you would find your pages here in this drop down, which it automatically reverts to. But I'm going to close that, and I'm just going to do a custom link. And from here, I'm going to put in a hashtag films, because remember I had that anchor on my videos section that was called films. So we want to jump to that. So I want the text to say films, and I'll add that to menu. And let's do another one that is photos, and we'll do hashtag photos. Oops, forgot the hashtag. There we go, and the P. Add to menu, and then we'll do, what else do we have? Web design, so we'll do hashtag web design, and then we'll just say web design. Add to menu, and then we'll also do contact, and then we'll do link text is contact, and then add to menu. And actually, let's do an about me while we're up here too. So let's do hashtag, let's just do hashtag about. We'll call it about me, and we'll actually have to go back and create that anchor for that section, so we can't forget that. So we'll just do add to menu. Alright, cool. So now if you click in this area, you can see we've got these new buttons up here, which is cool. So if you click on films, boom, jumps down to films, works perfectly. So now if you want to change the look of these buttons, I'll show you how to do that. So just go back, and then go back one more time. And then we're actually going to go down to header. So instead of the menu section, we're going to be in header, and then we're going to go to menu, which is within the header section. A little confusing, but let's go down and let's do the colors. So link color, we can change that. So let's say I'll make it a purple just so you can see what I'm talking about. So now the actual text has changed to purple. So you can select any color that you want. So let's say like a white. Personally, I don't think white stands out very well, so I actually liked the default, so I'm going to leave it at default. But you can also change the link hover color, so let's say I wanted it as like more of an orange. I'll select that, and let's just do kind of like a reddish orange. So there we go, which is pretty cool. It kind of matches my background a little bit, so I'm going to leave that. But now that that's done, I'm going to click on publish so that we can save our work. And let's go slap in our footer. So if we go all the way down, it just ends, and it just says this whole Ocean WP theme by Nick. We're going to get rid of that. So let's go back, and we'll go back again, and then just go down to footer bottom. And then what we're going to do is just uncheck enable footer bottom. So we're just going to get rid of that whole thing altogether. And there we go. So go back. And then we're going to go to footer widgets, and this is where we're going to add our template that I gave you. So if you go to select template, you'll see there's nothing there. So what the heck, where's our template? We imported it. Well, you need to add it to the My Library version of the theme panel. So a little confusing, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So just click publish if you haven't already, and then click the X, and then go back to the dashboard. And then you'll see this little wheel that says theme panel. And if you did not install Ocean Extra in the beginning like we did, then you won't see this. So make sure that that's installed. And then go to My Library, and then just go to Add New. And we're just going to call this footer. And then go to Template, and we're just going to do Elementor full width, just like we did the first time. And then click Publish. And then we're going to go to Edit with Elementor. So what we're doing is just building a separate page just for our footer, and then we're going to put that in on our main page. So first, just go over to this little folder, and we already imported that template earlier, so we can just go up to My Templates, and then you'll see the footer that we put in earlier. So just click Insert, and say yes, we want to put in all the document settings, and boom, there's our footer. So if it changes back to this kind of boxy layout, again, just go to Page Layout, and then go to Elementor Full Width. and then click on update. So now that it's full width, we can edit this the way that we want it. So what we can do is just click on this little button here and change this to your name if you want. It's set to mine. And you can change these buttons as well. So if we go to this widget, right click, edit social icons, you can change those to yours. I currently have them as my YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. And then before we leave, this back to top button, let's just click edit button. So as you can see, I've got hashtag top. So this will be a jump button that'll go all the way back to the top. So let's go back to our main site and add in this footer. So let's click on update, and then up to this little hamburger, and then click exit to dashboard. And then let's go back to our main site again, click on customize, and then let's just scroll all the way to the bottom again so that we can see our footer. Let's go back to footer widgets, and then go to select template again, and you should see it there, and just click on footer. And so now our footer is in there, but it looks a little funky, so let's fix it. So first and foremost, our padding, let's just make sure that that is set to 0 all the way around, so that'll tighten things up a bit. And then to get rid of this spot on the side, let's just click on the add container to get rid of the invisible container around it. So now it is a full width footer. So now we can test all these links if we want. Let's make sure that this button works, which it does. So if you did not delete this main section up here to create your own, I already had it with a class ID called top. So I'll show you what I mean. So let's just open this up, and I'll click publish, save our work, and we'll hit the X, and we'll go to edit with Elementor. And so what we can do is right click in this section, go to edit section, advanced tab at the top, and you can see class ID says top. So whenever we hit our button at the bottom in our footer, it'll jump to the top. So as long as you didn't delete that, it should already be that way. Now, step 7 is to edit for mobile. So 52% of global online traffic comes from a mobile device. So more people are on the internet on their phones than they are on desktops, a little bit more. So it's really, really important that we edit this site for mobile as well. We want it to be responsive for phones and tablet. So what we're going to do is open this back up, and we're just going to make sure that everything is looking good on mobile. So just go down to this little desktop computer symbol and then click mobile. So now we can look at it, we can scroll all the way down. This is looking pretty good. If you wanted to make this text smaller, you can. So you can just click on that, and then if you go to style, go to typography. So you can see these little symbols. So if you're on desktop mode, this will be a different setting than what is on mobile. So if you wanted, you can change that to whatever you'd like. Let's just put it at a 50. So whatever you do on one setting will not be changed on another. So let's keep scrolling down, make sure that everything's looking good. Ignore this little box here, nobody can actually see that. And this is looking pretty good. So our button's a little off here. If we wanted, we can click on that and then change the alignment to left, so it's kind of in line. Cool. So let's keep going down, make sure that everything looks good, which it does. Looking good, looking good. Nothing looks funky. If you wanted, so if something looks kind of funky, maybe it's too wide, it's taking up too much space, what you can do is just right click on that section, go to advanced, and just give it some padding. So this will kind of cushion things in a little bit, like that. So I gave it an overall 15 on the top and bottom. So let's say I want some extra space here. I can uncheck this little link, and under the top, I can give it, let's say, more of like a 30. I'll give the bottom a 30. So that gives a little bit more room on the top and the bottom. So that's how that works in case you need to fix something. So let's keep going down. Everything's looking good. Awesome. So now let's make sure that everything looks good on tablet. So go to tablet. So let's just double check it. Everything's looking pretty good. honestly, I think everything's looking fine. So let's go back to desktop. And before I forget, let's go back up to the About Me section, and let's make sure that we right click, edit section, go to advanced, and then go to class ID, and we'll say about, because we wanted that button at the top. So click update. We wanted that button at the top to go to our about page. So let's go make sure it works. So make sure you click on update and then go to go down to preview changes. And now we're at our site. So if we click on about me, it goes to our about me section, which is great. All right, guys. So last but not least, step number 8 is to publish your website. So let's go back to the dashboard. And then from here at the top, you will see your site is currently displaying a coming soon page. Once you're ready to launch, click here. So let's just go ahead and click here. Alright, so that was how to make a personal website. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've got lots of other tutorials on my channel. So if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. It would mean the world to me. And for every new subscriber that I get, a stork delivers a newborn baby. So do it for the babies, guys. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Thank you for watching Create a Pro Website, and I will see you guys on the next video.